Because I'm telling you,
because that's fascinating.
the numbers of it all. Matt's probably gonna be like, oh my God, like, because he just be like, I am not a number. Like he ain't like, he's just not like, that's what makes all of us different. Let's just say that. And so yeah, so let's go on and I'll get into
it. Okay, I'm excited for that. Oh my God, let's get it.
What up, you
guys? I know we need a long one, baby. I'm your girl, Kiara C. Holt, your style and feel-good provider.
And I'm your girl, Larissa Yvonne, your confidence boosting bestie. I don't know what time it is, so go ahead and grab your cups.
Because we're here to fill you up
on all things life, style, and everything in between.
Everything is going on. Sis, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm back. I'm gonna be honest, I feel happy to be back. Like I genuinely feel just happy to be able to even be in a headspace to want to create again. So the podcast, this is my first, like, I'm back in, in production, if you will. And I'm really excited that this is where I get to come back to, because we and I talk about it all the time. Pod, you just feel free. You can just free flow. There's no strategy, and well, there is in a sense, but there's just no pressure. You can kind of just free flow. So I'm happy that this is the space that I'm coming back to. Going live tomorrow. Well, when y'all it'll be a week from now, but yeah, we getting back to it. We got to get back to it. I was telling you, life continues to move on when you are in your own shit, if you will.
Yeah, that's sometimes the hardest pill to swallow, but it's just the facts of life. You have to know how to pick yourself up through the midst of it and keep going. Like, it's some of the shit that we hear in life is like, seems cliche, but no, it really is like the universal law. Like, life ain't waiting for you to be like, all right, you ready? No, something happening, bills still flowing, school still going, people are still like living their lives, and you just have to give yourself that time until you're ready to get back into your normal routine,
Yeah, and that's what I've had to do. That's what I've had to do. So I don't know if I've shared. I think, look, we talked about it. Key knows. I'm not as open as some people on social media, but we had a death in my family. My mother-in-law, my sweet mother-in-law passed away. She had a heart attack on January the 23rd. Was in the hospital. She got out of the hospital, and unfortunately we kind of learned that the heart is just a tricky thing. Like, your heart is a muscle and it controls your whole entire body, but your heart is tricky. And so when she came out, everything seemed like it was on the up and up. She had medications, like all these different things. You think she's going to be fine. And in a few days, we could just sense like it's not going to be fine. And so we had to get her back to the hospital. She was readmitted and ultimately passed away. She passed away on February the 13th. Laid her to rest on February the 20th. And so this was like our first, I think, as a couple, big loss, like a tremendous loss. Like, losing my grandmother, I think, was huge for both of us too, because we were really close to my grandma. But this is like, I've been around his mom for 20 years, and it's his mom, it's my son's grandmother. So as a unit, as a family unit, because Carter wasn't here when my grandmother passed. So as a family unit, this is our first really big loss. And it's been a huge loss. So, but I was telling Key, like, it's just wild. Like, I'm someone who just starts to think about things. Like, I'm a numbers girl. I get into numbers. And so I was just telling her, like, the numbers is what freaks me out. So I was about to break it down for her.
Real good. Go ahead.
Let's get into it real quick. So I'm doing the math. So his mom was 71 when she passed away. This was my son's first grandparent to pass away. My first grandparent was my grandfather on my mom's side, who passed away, and he was 71 years old. At the time when he passed away, my parents had been married for 12 years. Matt and I have been married for 12 years. My mom was 37 when her dad passed away. So my grandfather passed away when he was 71. My mom was 37. They'd been married for 12 years. Matt's mom passed away at 71. We've been married for 12 years and I am 37. And so for me, it's just like,
Mm.
is that a coincidence? Like, is it? Like, am I the crazo? Because it's just like,
No.
that's very specific numbers,
Have you
like,
looked them up yet?
hmm?
Have you looked them up?
I haven't looked up the individual numbers,
Okay.
but
Good.
it's facts. And so like I'm looking, then we're at the funeral and my husband's like, my mom had me when she was 30. And I was like, yeah, and I had Carter when I had already figured that out a long time ago. His his
Yeah.
mom had him at 30, I had Carter at 30. It's just like so many commonalities. And so it's like now I have to be like, okay, girl, don't read too much into it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
don't.
numerology, that's a thing. That's why I'm like, I know I can go really deep with like the spiritual realm and like seeing angel numbers and stuff, but sometimes that's like something to look into.
I've had numbers that have popped up
Mm-hmm.
of angel numbers because I have angel numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I recognize angel numbers in the midst, like when things happen that's just too, this wasn't a coincidence. I'm someone who quickly is like, notate that number, Google the number, figure out what the number means. Because something of like if I'm drawn to it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I will say there's not anything specifically that has drawn me to those numbers, but just doing the calculation was enough to be like, this is just God. Like, I don't know what, you're like, I don't know how else to describe that. But and
That would
Carter's
make me want to look it up more because to me, I mean, my numbers are 222 as an indication when something's going on. I could be driving and then 222 is on a license plate.
that's how I
And
am.
it's like,
424.
all right,
And it's
God, I
your
hear
birthday. And 222 is your birthday. 424 is definitely an angel number. It pops up.
you.
I can just be like, oh, I need to do something on my phone, pick it up. Oh, it's 424. And
Mm-hmm.
I always say it's my birthday. Like when I see the time, Matt and Carter joke about it. But like it's my thing because it's
Mhm.
a thing. It really is.
My
So get
friend used
the
to be
numbers, y'all. I don't
like,
know. Is anyone out there like me and Key? Because my husband is very much so not a numbers guy, like that kind of numbers guy.
oh, listen, I'm so serious with it. I was with my girlfriend yesterday at Walmart, and her total was 1666. I said, "No, you need some gum or something. You not finna make." She was like, "What?" I said, "That is 666. That's the devil numbers."
We
No,
ain't
that's
doing.
six. I don't play with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
numbers. We should get into that.
we should do a separate pod on that. But I'm really into, like I said, just pay attention. Like I think that
Mhm.
a lot of people discount, if you will, to me, the spirituality in numbers, like in just
Yeah.
seeing them, like in signs in general. Like I think people I don't think I'm not gonna say not a lot of people because I haven't looked up any statistic. I ain't curious, Georgia. Y'all know Key. But I feel like a lot of people kind of discount signs because it's like they're waiting for the sign, like you're waiting for this voice of God to come right here and all this. Sometimes God speaks to you in so many different ways and speaks to all of us in different ways. And I just feel like I wouldn't be drawn to numbers if numbers wasn't one of the ways in which
Mhm.
he communicates things to me. So I'm always paying attention to numbers or especially like a sequence. If it just seems like, why is this is just an odd sequence. I'm going to look into why those numbers popped up. And just about every time it's like, it's a message that I needed to hear in that moment. So like, pay attention to number, pay attention to different things going on around you. We've had cardinal birds around, like in our tree, right
Mm.
outside our bedroom window every single day, every day since she passed. And it's just, you're just like, are you coming to check on us? You're just letting us know you transitioned, you made it there. Okay. Like those things I look for. So
Mhm.
call me crazy, but yeah.
No, I think it's so. I think I admire you for that, and I admire other people that are still trying to understand the world. Like still questioning. Like God rest his soul. When my brother passed, I started reading this book about the afterlife
Hmm.
because you have questions. You're like certain things. Of course, your life is going to definitely change, but they're also talking to you in a way, and it's like again, open your senses up. Like you're really about to see something that is about to shift your whole world. And with that afterlife, this book was like phenomenal. It had me in tears. Just the smallest things that can happen. They're
Mhm.
like, sometimes I've read like, if there's a dime around, that's an indication that they're near. Like just little small things that they're gonna come. So I'd say continue just keeping your senses open. I think it's beautiful because some people miss it.
You have to look for it though. Like he said, keep your eyes open. My grandmother passed. I'm telling you, I was still working downtown. So my grandmother passed away. We had to bury my grandmother. I'm still working downtown, Louisville. I have to go downtown and you eat lunch. And so you're like walking and stuff and around. And I will never forget this. Like it was maybe a couple of weeks after she passed away. And I'm at a light. We're down, like like you're going to lunch. So I mean, it's like just a ton of people out, is what I'm trying to say, in downtown.
Mhm.
This is pre-COVID and all of that. And so it's booming. And I will never forget, we are headed to lunch, me and a friend, and we get to a light where we have to stop because we have to wait for the light to turn green. And so, we're just chit-chatting and talking or whatever. Well, the light changes and we're walking across the street. So there's people coming towards us and we're going this way. I will never forget, a lady, just a random lady, has on the exact same suit that we buried the suit that we buried her in. And I'm just walking past this lady like, in a million years, it wasn't a brand new suit. We didn't go to the store. Like, she had that suit just tucked away in her closet. Now, it was new for her, but it wasn't like we went out and just recently bought this.
Right.
And it's just little things, but like I pay attention to detail. Like, some people may not even remember what I buried so and so in. I remembered exactly what we buried her in. And I remember
Mhm.
you just have those days where it's like, I just need something. And I don't remember having that specifically, like having a moment, but I do remember just walking across and I was just like, thank you, God. Like,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
just something about, like, she's all right. Like, I don't know why, because that just doesn't happen. I know a lot of things can be seen as coincidence, but a lot of things also cannot. And so I'm just
Agree.
like, yes, keep your eyes open, y'all. Just pay attention.
Mm.
Songs, just anything. Just,
Mhm.
a song will pop on the radio and you're like,
Girl, my birthday came in. My girlfriend was calling me. It was like 12 o'clock. And the day that my brother passed, he loved to hear Snoop Dogg Drop It Like It's Hot.
okay.
Girl, I'm in the bed and Drop It Like It's Hot comes on at 12 o'clock. When I said I bawled, but it's like, it's always going to be an ache in your heart, but it's like happy tears.
It
Because
is.
it's an acknowledgement. It's like, thank you. I just said thank you. I just was crying and saying thank you because it was so crazy how the video came on.
He came to tell you happy birthday. That was the only, like, and that's their only way. And
Mhm.
I'm not always like, oh, that means you're because some people take it, you're
A
communicating,
little- Yeah,
like the darkness of it. And I'm
yeah.
like, no, I just think that's God's way of almost being like, this is we're up here. They
Mhm.
up there, they thinking of you, they see you. We haven't forgotten about you because we're down here like, I haven't forgotten about you. I miss you. I'm grieving you
Mhm.
every day in some sort of way. And so, like, that's just, to me, is like the icing on, like, I'm thankful for those moments. They don't
Yes,
scare me. It's like I'm thankful for them. So yeah.
I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of your strength. Oh my God. Oh my God.
She taught me a lot, though. That's what I was telling I've told everybody, like, just this whole experience has taught me a lot. It truly taught me that a mother's love, like, knows no bounds. Like,
Mm.
so she hung in there, she fought, and I mean, even when it was time to like turn everything off and everything, it was like that day had been like a rainy, cloudy day. And so we get there, we get up to her room, and all of a sudden the sun is shining in like this little bitty window in her room. The smallest little window, not a big hospital window, the tiniest window in the corner. The sun is hitting right in, just shining right over top of her.
Ooh,
It's just like,
that was
oh my God, like it's so much. But um I'm just thankful for her. I'm thankful for her life. You know what I mean? Like, and
good.
just had to thank her for her life, because without her life, wouldn't have Matt's life.
Mhm.
Without Matt's life, I wouldn't have my life and my son. So it's like, it's a full circle moment, but it changes you forever. Because it's someone you love,
Mhm.
it's someone you weren't ready to let go of per se, but um, you
Mm.
find peace and you find comfort in, that's what I'll say God has provided, that peace and that comfort in him. Like, I know where she is and I know that I'll see her like again. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
God bless. God bless. You just take this thing day by day.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. It's all you have out here.
That's it. I love you though. You checked on, like, y'all key checked on us. So many people really, like, I'm really grateful for the community that I built. And it's so funny because I haven't been posting, haven't really been, like, I hadn't been posting really at all. Y'all, I think I even talked about on the podcast. God was in, like, beating it over my head. Slow down. Slow down. You need to pause. You need to take time. And I just kept being like, okay, I'm slowing down, but I really don't know why. And all of this was the why. All of this. So it's like, it also just showed me to be obedient. As much as I probably could have kept pushing through and putting out content, I didn't. Like, I listened. I really slowed down. Like, I haven't putting out a reel. I haven't shot a reel, I haven't done anything. The only thing I was keeping up with was my Work Your Wins live, my Wednesday lives that I do. And so I think that it helped me in a way. It prepared me for the moment, because I'm somebody, if I'm in the midst of, like, I'm doing all this content, I've shot all this content, I need to be editing, I got to get it up. And it's like, if I would have been doing all that and then all of this took place, now, of course, I would have stepped back, but mentally that would have plagued me. Like, I would have been like, God, I'm behind. I had this 14 things to put, and it's like, I wasn't doing all that. So I didn't have to worry about all of that aspect. So it was just be obedient. Just really listen, y'all. Like, just take your time and really listen to what he's telling you to do. He's telling you to do these things for a reason. So.
Oh, trust me, I know.
You been? You've had a whole birthday. So shouts out to Key, y'all. Y'all wish my good sister happy birthday. Her birthday was on February the 22nd.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
34. Look, I said 24.
34. I'll be 24 though.
For life.
Okay, she is 30. Oh, wow.
What's your birthday?
What'd you say?
I said, how have you been? How has life been? How was your birthday?
February started off, I would say, since the beginning of the year, it's been busy. It's just been like that nonstop flow, celebrating birthdays and getting ready for my friend's wedding and helping her, and then with work. And then suddenly I found myself in a car accident like the week before my birthday.
What?
My baby Victoria.
What happened?
But Victoria, because she is gone.
Victoria's gone?
Yeah, she
ain't coming back gone? They had to total her out?
Nah. Yeah. That was like, that raised like PTSD for me. And when I say, like, I am in that season now where I'm like, I need to practice obedience. I need to listen. I need to slow the F down, because that was like just an awakening for me. Like, thank God you get to walk out of that. But when you sit down and process everything, you're just moving and moving and moving. You think life is fun, and then shit gets real.
Yeah.
Real. And it has gotten real for me these past couple of weeks, that, like you, it's like very therapeutic to do this again, because you need to find that creative outlet to just allow you to be and not think about work, not think about the seriousness that we have to tend back to after this. But shit is real.
I'm sorry you lost Victoria, though. Y'all won. I've been in Victoria.
Right.
Old black Nissan. She's beautiful. But I'm happy you're here and that your life was saved.
Amen.
We replace the car, we cannot replace Key. Okay.
So it's crazy that it creeped up to my birthday weekend. So the day that I saw her was on my birthday, and I was like, oh, my baby. Like, I cried. I just had to pull myself together, because now I had family coming in, and that weekend was just phenomenal. One that I will never, ever, ever, ever forget. Just the amount of love around me, and just genuine people that I love and they love me. And we had a phenomenal weekend. And that just helped me, like, take my mind off of things.
Yeah,
just, it's gonna be fine. Like, just tap into those that are around you because they're here because they love you. And it's like the grander scheme of just life, but it really is crazy how one week you're at a high, one week you're at a low, then the next week you're at a high again. And it's like, oh,
It's
breathe.
life. It's
Yeah,
a roller coaster.
it really is.
It
It
really
really is.
is. It
It
really,
really is.
really
So,
is.
by the grace of God, I'm hanging in there, and I feel like now I'm getting back to, of course, potting and just getting back to my motion, getting
Yeah.
back to what I need to be doing. Carless right now, but we're working on that. We're figuring that part out. But I've been home. I don't even have like the need to like either like go out and hang and party and stuff. And I'm just like, God, I don't know why, but I'm listening. I don't know why it happened the way it was supposed to, but I'm listening and I'm really trying to see another way of being here. Because Atlanta, let me tell you, Atlanta is fun, okay? But I've also, from my journey, for myself, I'm like, I need to see what more it has to offer than just the fun and be more intentional moving forward. And sometimes, you have like what you're supposed to be doing in the back of your mind, but you're still doing the shit that you want to do.
That you want to do.
It's like,
What did I say?
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said sometimes you have to beat it all on your head. You're just like,
Yeah.
okay. And you're thankful for that. Like after you kind of come out of it, like you said, and you've processed it and are able to reflect on it,
Mhm.
move forward, and you can move forward in a different way. And I think that's what's so important. So it's like
Learn.
you learn, you live and you learn. The important part is to learn, because if you don't, that's what puts you in that cycle of you continuously going through that lesson
1,000.
11 times. And you're like, why does this keep? Because you won't listen.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
I done learned my lesson, baby. I done learned my lesson.
You got it together.
Things are changing, things are shifting, and just trying to day by day. That's all I got. That's really all I got. Oh,
Well, now
it's
you know why since we've been gone.
not-
Look, we've been gone for a minute, but
no.
life has life, like in the most unexpected ways. But as we said, you like life is gonna life, y'all. You just
Yeah.
have to really be able to roll with those punches and try to pick yourself back up. Give yourself grace, give yourself the time you need, but don't sit and stay in that funk for too long, because I feel like the hardest part about getting back out there is just that. Is literally just starting again. I don't know about you, but I think when you get into the habit of not doing, it's not that you're like, oh, it's not worth it, but it's a matter of, do I really feel like doing? Because like
Yes.
I can just do all this other stuff and I don't have to do that. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So just getting myself back into the mind space of this is what you love to do. You love creating. You love the pod. You love working with. Like I have to really like hype myself up. Because it was like, and you know me, I haven't taken a break like this, like a break. We've been doing this for 4 years. I haven't taken a break like this ever in those 4 years. And so I do think it was needed. And I am happy that I'm not happy of the circumstances around why I had to take that break,
Yeah.
but I'm thankful. I just feel clearer. I feel in a way lighter even. So we'll see. I see you've been posting though. I feel
We
like
trying to get back to
you
it.
posting on the gram is what I will say.
We trying to get back to it. I just I'm definitely getting back to it. I think a part of me is just like, because I lost so many followers. And I was like, we don't care about that. We don't care about that. We're really just, again, listening to what he's telling. Because I have visions. I have so many visions of like things that I'm like in my mind of just creating, and I haven't created it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been focusing on other things. And I just feel like I'm in a space where I'm like, you're tripping if you don't really tap into what you're supposed to be doing at this point of your life. Like, you've got it. You've been doing it for years. You know what you're doing, but you're not actively working on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just taking my time and getting back into it. But yeah, it's easier. Like you said, it's so easier to just keep going. You know how many mornings I've been like, I'm going to do tap in, and I'll be like, what time is it? Because
And you be like, never mind.
I got up early. I would be dressed, and it's like, no, you have to work that muscle again. So it's coming back, and again, those signs with people. When I'll be looking at some stories and people that have purchased the cards, I'll see the cards like they post it. I'm like, oh my god, that is so dope. But it's like, Kiara, just keep going with it.
You
I'm
gotta
really
keep going.
been receiving. So posting is coming back. Yeah, yeah, posting is coming back, but it's sometimes you just gotta take that pause. I think more people are honing into taking those breaks though. Like, come on, it's just a lot that we all have to endure, and you never know what the next is going through. But I'm proud of us for coming back onto our platforms.
Hell yeah.
And I know your community is going to be super, super excited to see you tomorrow. I'm gonna
Oh,
tap in, like just that bounce back. Everybody needs it.
everybody needs it. I'm
Everybody
just like, ugh. And I feel like I've been like out for so long. Like, really, in social media years, I just jokingly said this on my story. So I showed up on my stories and I did the little, hey, hey, how
Yeah.
you doing? Because it's like you've been gone for so long. It's like,
Mhm.
hi. Do y'all even remember me? But I got so many messages of people telling me they miss me and all of that stuff. But I jokingly said
Amazing.
that on there. It was just like, I just feel like I'm just here now. Okay, what do I say? Like, I don't even know. You
It's
feel
I'm
like a
telling
fish
you,
out of water.
it's that component where it just puts everything together. Like it's like fuck the numbers, it's the community, it's your solid folk that always tap into your stories, it's the solid folk that comment, that support your business, your brand. Like I just been like seeing, I think her name is Selena. She's like another big
Selena
influencer.
Clearly, who
Yes.
her fiance passed.
Oh my God. Our deepest condolences. We send you so much love, Selena, and the way her community showed up and showed out, her beautiful family, her
Yeah,
kids
her
posted.
kids. Her kids were writing, like her daughter was, I think, writing her like on her behalf.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw recently where they kind of brought her back, like they were kind of doing something. I was just like, it was just so beautiful. And the
That
love,
is,
the
yeah,
outpouring, it just really shows you to me like you hit the nail on the head. It really is about community. And I even said that in my video today, like they are the best. And I'm
yeah,
sure everyone thinks their community is the best, but just genuine people that are reaching out to me and telling,
mhm,
we miss you, like I miss you. We can't wait for you to come back and take your time and give yourself grace. And how are you doing? How's
yeah,
Matt? Calling him by name. It's like
yeah,
you're just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like you can really find a community if you allow yourself to be open enough to find your community, if you
yep,
will. So don't be afraid of that. Like,
yep.
as private as I am, I just had to express. You can't just be gone and not say anything. So it's kind of like I had to somewhat say something. So I did. And like, I'm just happy that I was like, just being open and let you all in. I didn't have to give you every detail,
Right. And some people feel like that you have to do that. No,
You
no,
don't.
I feel like that's the testing moment, right? And it shouldn't even be considered a test, but nowadays when you just show like, yeah, I'm actually going through some real shit right now. Like I'll be back. I'm here, but I gotta tend to this right now.
I'll be right back.
You know, this is real stuff. Again, we don't know what the next is going through. And that's why it is important to keep the lives going. That's why it is important to just show up and say what is on your spirit at that moment, because you're inspiring the next and you don't even know it.
You don't.
While you're hurting, okay?
Look,
While
we
you're
broke down. We are broke down over here. Okay.
while
My
you're hurting,
husband is gone. My mother-in-law is gone. We are broke down, but we are
okay?
still here and we are
Mhm.
still going. Like keep
Yeah.
going. Like you said it. It's so cliche, but it's all you can really do. I think that's all he wants you to do too. Like he as
Yeah.
the big man upstairs. Like if you have full faith in him,
Faith.
he's already got you. He already got you. So move like he's already figured it all out. He's already worked it all out because at the end of the day, he really has. He
Yeah.
already know what's about to happen. We don't know.
We don't know. Yep.
but he know. So you just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep it going. So
The week that everyone pretty much left, and Stacy was the last man standing, and she left, and I was like, oh, my best friend is gone.
oh,
But
man.
now it's like that quiet period where you're by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I could live in Baltimore, I could live around the corner, but if I'm living by myself, it's just you have to deal with it by yourself. And I really had a very low vibrational week last week. But I'm telling you, Ree, that Monday, my girlfriends came over, and one girlfriend was like, "Can I just pray over you?" Mind you, they didn't really know the type of day that I was having. And they came over and they prayed. That same week, my pastor called me, checking in on me, and she prayed over me. I was just like, oh, as low as I may feel, you keep showing me that you're there. You keep showing me that you're gonna be okay. And I'm telling you, I'm guiding you, and I'm putting you through this for whatever reason that I need to go through it. But I'm telling you that you're okay and you're blessed. And I just kept telling myself, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. You're blessed. Because you just sit down, and sometimes you don't have a second to process. And I
Mm-hmm.
can imagine what you've gone through. It's like you're in emotion during that period, planning a funeral and having people around you and swarm. It's a lot that you don't have time to think.
Think it's a haze.
Yes.
I told my mom, I was like, I just feel like I've been in a haze. And so, like, after the funeral, it's like the haze, like, and it's no fault of anybody. So I want to say
Yeah.
this, but it's like people know if you've lost someone, it's like everyone is there and everyone is, how are you? And da 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 da. And then, everyone comes to the funeral and the family comes to the funeral and everyone is there and everything. But the day after the funeral, everyone's gone home.
Yeah.
Everyone has gone back to work. Everyone has gone to school, gone to whatever they do in their daily lives. And you're still left here dealing with the emotions of it all. And so it was like, I was able to kind of come out of that haze.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so back to real life. Nobody's here. It's just me, him, and Carter. How are we doing? Now I got to figure out
Mhm.
how they're doing. And then when it's not you, you have to also, make sure, like, is my husband okay? Like, he
Mhm.
lost his mom. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if I like, and it's something you always say because you don't know until you go through it. But I'm like, I don't know if I could even function. You know what I mean? Without my mama. Like, I don't know how this life gonna go when she go, because I don't know. But it's just like you have to figure out. You just have to figure out a way to keep going. Like whatever your thing is, whatever your why is, like whatever it is, you have to figure out that thing and like just get up and keep going. Like give yourself grace. I never want to tell people like don't take that time because it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be
Mhm.
sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to wallow in it for a while. But it's like don't stay there. Is the only thing that I'm like because it's like I could totally see what would happen to me if I just was like, Key, I don't want to do the podcast today. Maybe next week. Next week come, maybe next week. Next week come. You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
just, the next thing you know, you're like in this dark place. And so it's like
Yeah.
people reaching out to me, like you said, that's enough. Like when people ask, what can you do? What can I do? I don't know what I should say. You don't say anything really. Just be like, hey girl, you don't have to bring up the whole thing. How is so and so? How you doing today? What you doing today? What you getting into? Like it's just those little things is how you can show your friends support when they're going through a tough time. And be kind.
Yeah.
You never know what people are going. Like you said, you never know what people are really and truly going through. So just be kind. Um, but life gonna life. Look, it's one thing I do know is life gonna do its thing.
I thought to myself, you go through it, you go through this tough season to reset, only to prep yourself for another tough season that you don't know is coming down the line. Lordy, 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 lordy. This is why we talk about self care. This is why we talk about sometimes, living out loud. And that means like enjoying your life and really being fruitful, and the smallest things matter, and loving on your people, or because you just don't know what's about to happen. You just don't know. And I mean, for me, I've received so much support and like people helping me out because you may think that, you are by yourself, but then when your community, when your support pulls up and it's like, oh my God, like friends helping me, taking me places. And it's so uncomfortable for me because I'm like independent. Like, what? I hop in my car and go. I do what I got to do. But now I have to ask. Now I have to be vocal. Now I have to be like, oh my God, this is a whirlwind for me. But it's okay to ask for help. Speak up. We need to speak up and normalize that.
That's a lesson in and of itself, and a beautiful lesson at that, of just asking for help,
Hmm.
because we are independent. Like, so many of us women are so, I'm all the women is independent, and it's like, that's how we roll. But it's like, have we been conditioned to this? Like, I genuinely don't know that this is the way, like that whole independence part of I don't know that that's the way we were supposed to be. I think we adopted these almost like defense mechanisms because you've been hurt, you've been betrayed, you get let down, and all of these different things. And so you've turned yourself into, I can just do it myself. I'll just figure it out myself. I don't want, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think that's what God intended for us to be. Because just think about, you said, like, when I've asked people I had to ask for a ride, I had to ask for this or whatever it might be. And you're not used to doing that, but they show up. How will we ever know who is going to be, like, who's down for us when we're down, if you don't have these moments to kind of be like, hey, I need help. And so it's just the facts of life. I say that about my becoming a mom all
Mhm.
the time. If I would have just opened my mouth and been like, I need help, I can't, I'm feeling this way, I am struggling. But in my mind, it was like, no, like all these other moms that have come before you didn't struggle and they didn't have to ask for help. But that's just because what you perceive. You don't know what those, like, they may have had all the help in the world, but in your mind, it's like, I became a mom and now I gotta be, and it's like, no, open your mouth. So, like, I didn't learn that lesson then, but I've learned that lesson over time, is what I'll say. But it's like, I
Yeah.
don't think that that's what he meant for us to be.
I mean, I could agree. 'Cause if you're independent, you don't really want to be doing it by yourself. But as you were saying it, I was just thinking about like when Stacy and I, we both, our first jobs was at McDonald's. And I think just generational, just from back then, that was kind of like what you wanted to do. Once your parents were like, you of age to work, you're done. Now
Yeah.
go ahead and be independent and do your thing. And we thought that was cute. We thought that that was the way to be. I got my car, I got my job. Can't nobody tell me nothing. And then you go through different experiences where I don't even want to say where it's like people letting you down, but if you do need the help, you don't know how to say it because you're so used to doing it. And then when you do ask, and then somebody lets you down, you're like, this is why I'm always just do my shit by myself.
I ain't never asking nobody else ever again. And then
Exactly.
you get into that pattern, like you hold on to that. That becomes a wall. You
Yes.
put up that wall, and now it's like, this is just who I am. I'm the queen of, I'll just figure it out. That is something,
Hmm.
whether I say it out loud or you read it on my face. Like, because I mean, even with my husband, like, he's like, what's wrong? Nothing. Like, that's what and in my head, I'll just figure it out. I'll just do it
Hmm.
myself. And it's like, that's not healthy either, because
Hmm.
especially he's asking me what's wrong. Your reaction is based off of you thinking that he should just know what's wrong and don't have to ask me. No, like, none of that works this way. But it's like, these are lessons I've had to learn over time. And thankfully, a lot of these lessons I think have prepared me for this experience, because old me would have been like, look, I'm gotta go here to pick up Carter. I gotta drop him off here. I gotta do this. And it's like, I really had to try to figure out that balance, the balance of being there for my husband, who is phenomenal. Like, I have seen that man grow by leaps and bounds just through this experience. One, man gonna take care of me and my old, like, Lord willing, if I make it there, honey, I got a good one, is all I'm gonna say. Like,
Amen. Amen.
he was there, he was at the hospital, he was talking to those doctors. You would have thought he was a medical professional. He's learning things, and like, because
Wow.
you have to kind of just figure things out. You have to figure out the right questions to ask, and all of these different things. And so I've seen a whole other side of him, but I think allowing myself to break these walls down over the last few years of just trying to be Miss Independent. I can do it myself. I can do it myself. I'll
Mhm.
figure it out. And letting him help. And it allowed me to help him in his time of need. Like, you can't do it all alone. You just can't. And so I had a day where I was like, I just feel like I'm being torn because I had to go pick up Carter. And like his mom had just gone back to the hospital. And I was like, I don't want him to be there alone. And I had a moment in front of Carter. And I think it was important for him to see that too. Because I was just like, he's like, why are you crying, mommy? And I was like, because I feel sad because I want to be here with you. Like, I want to take you home and let's do your homework and do all this. And I said, but I need to be there for daddy too, because daddy's also my best friend and daddy
Mhm.
too. And so he's like, it's okay, mommy. He was like, I'll be fine. Like, and so it's like,
Oh,
show your kids resilience.
where's
Like,
my tissue? Oh my
you're just like,
god. Wow.
they get it. Even down to a set, like I'm like, mommy, because we call ourselves the three amigos. We're each other's best friends. And so it's like, it's really, we come home. I come home, Matt's already home. We're going to get homework done. We're going to do dinner. Like, all of these things are things that are a part of our normal routine. And so I could feel Carter like not feeling like everything was normal. And
Mm.
not that we were telling him everything that was going on, because before you don't really know. So we didn't want to be like, it's serious and and she would have gotten out of the hospital, kind of been fine or whatever. But when it started to get serious, I was like, I told Matt, I was like, I don't want to keep making him believe that everything is fine and then it not be fine. And then all of a sudden you're just like, drop the bomb on you, everything ain't fine.
Right.
So we kind of like talked to him and was like, this
Wow.
is what's going on. But that day, it was just like everything hit me. And I was just like, I'm feeling the effects of us not having our unit. And so I had a moment and he was just like, it's fine, mom. He was like, I understand. So I took him to my mom's house. He was fine though. Like, kids are resilient. That's what I'll say. Your
Yeah.
kids are a lot smarter than you think they are. And these new age kids, especially,
Mhm.
because we were so worried about like, how's he gonna react? How's this? But I was like, Carter's a lot like me. He's very inquisitive and he's very empathetic. And I think he senses things before anyone says anything. So I'm like, we just need to kind of tell him like what's going on. And then when it was like we knew, like I said that day before, I was like, we just need to tell him, like, there's not very many scenarios where you can tell someone like, hey, so and so
Yeah.
is gonna pass tomorrow. You don't get
Yeah.
that. So I was like, just let's let him know. And so yeah, like, as a family, we've just, we just, it's like we're just new. Everything is like, it's like you're finding your new normal and all of that. So
New chapter.
yeah, it is. It really is. But
Mm.
thankful for just everything. Thankful for everything. Thankful for you. Thankful for community. All of the things. Find your tribe, y'all. Find your tribe is what I will tell you wherever you are.
It's out there. It's out there. You gotta allow the right ones to want to stick around. You know, it's such a different realm at this point in my life. Like sometimes I joke, I'll be like, "Where the hell are the cameras for some of the Real Housewife shits that I experienced living here with females?" But I mean, throughout that, those who had to go, and those who are here, I'm very thankful for that. I met some good people. It's possible. One of my girlfriends told me that a young lady that she met that lives here, she moved from I don't know what city, but she's been in Atlanta for 5 years and she doesn't have friends. And I
Mhm,
said, well, does she go out? Does she do anything? Like, how do
mhm,
you expect to receive anybody that may be good for you or may not be good for you, or just building those type of relationships if you just in the house? Because
mhm.
then again, nobody wants to be by themselves. Nobody wants to be lonely. Connections, relationships, that community, that's the type of stuff that will get your ass up out of the bed when you feeling low of low, and just inspires you to just continue. People need people.
People
People
need
need people.
people. You said it perfectly. That's exactly what I was trying to communicate when I was
Mhm,
saying we're not supposed to be out here doing all this
mhm.
alone. You're just not. You don't have to have 1,000 people.
Yeah, you don't.
But you have to have a few good, solid folk that you can call on and count on.
Facts.
That will be there for you because shit gets hard. That's all I can tell. Like, And like just that simple check-in, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
That can change the trajectory of someone's entire day. So it's like just be kind, be thoughtful. It's made me think about that more. Like I want to, because I'm not very good. I'm not gonna say I'm not a good friend, because I am a good friend. I'm the friend though. If you need me, you know you can call me and I'll be there. I'm that friend, but I'm not the person who's like, I don't text. Like I'm not, let me call this person, let me text this person, let me da 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 da. And so, but I even said, I was like, I have to start doing that more, because I also need it. You know what I'm saying? And so if I need it, they may need it too. So why can't, like, and it's not about, well, they don't do that for me. A lot of people want to go, nobody texts me, nobody, but are you reaching out? You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
had to check myself. So it's like, it's just really changed a lot, you know, in the best way possible.
Amen to that. I pray that this next chapter just keeps the three amigos closer than ever. Carter is just an abundance of joy. Like that is just a beautiful story.
That's
How
all.
he is taking it and just so mature. You
He is.
already know I send good vibrations out to producer Matt.
Yes.
Good vibrations out.
He'll
And
be listening. I'm sure he'll hear this.
take this thing day by day. Because everybody, you have your waves, but you'll know how to maintain the waves. You
Yeah.
know?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I said, I think everybody had to have their moment. I had my little moment. And once I had, because look, you couldn't have your moment around, I couldn't have my moment around him. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, he stepped out the room the day she passed. He stepped out because you call the funeral home, kind of get all that. So they come pick her up and everything. And it was his cousin and his dad in the room. And I just lost. Like he was gone. It was like I just needed to kind of have my moment and release everything, because I've been being strong for him, you know. And so I did. I had my little moment, but after that moment, it was like, okay, I'm good to go. And from there, I'm not gonna say I didn't have any other moments, but I was able to like keep my shit together as we're going through the funeral and things like that. And I think, look, the funeral was the first time Carter had ever really seen Matt cry. So then I look over, look, and then he's like, his little tears are coming out. And I'm like, oh, take me! Oh, I can't do it, Lord.
Oh, my baby.
Oh, that was the hardest part. And so, look, I'll be honest, we're real intentional in this family. So I tell Carter, it's okay to have moments, you know, like when we're doing different things or whatever. So he turns to me, his little stuff. He was like, Mommy, can you take me out? Because like to the bathroom or whatever. And I was like, and look, this is the middle of the funeral, like the eulogy about to come, like and so I look and I'm like, Carter, I can't. You know, I gotta stay in here for this. And I said, do you need to go to the bathroom or something? He was like, yeah. So I turn around, get my mom. She takes him, comes back. So later on, I asked him, I was like, what was going on? And he was like, I really just needed to have a moment, and I wanted you to take me out so I could have my moment. And I was just like,
Oh, my lamb. What?
yes, I'm telling you, because like we really do. We try to, you pour into your kids so that your kids can realize that these things are normal, but never in a million years. Like I'm telling you, the preacher's about to get up here and do the eulogy, and I'm like, he's like, can we go? Can we step outside? And I'm like, we can't step outside. We can't do that. I was
Oh,
like,
my goodness.
so I'm like, the first thing that comes to mind, I'm like, do you need to go to the bathroom? And he was like, he just goes, yeah, I need to go to the bathroom. So I was like, Mom, can you take him? But afterwards, I talked, like I said, you can talk to your kids. Y'all. I'm just like, I said, so what was going on, buddy? He was like, I just really needed to have a moment and I wanted to talk to you about it. And I was like,
I would say though, I commend you all for taking him to the funeral because a lot of parents won't even take a kid at his age to a funeral. They'd be like, "Nope, can't come."
I just feel like, and we talked about it. I'll be honest with that too. He was like, do you think we should? Maybe he should just come to the visitation. Because, you know, nowadays, a lot of time you just do the visitation and the funeral like all in the same day. You know,
Yeah.
back in the day, it was like you do one on this day and then the next day. But look, it's too long. Look, it's like funerals are already just so
Heartbreaking.
high on emotions and all of
Right.
that. And it's like, let's just get it all done in one day. So we talked about it, and I said, no, because at the end of the day, like we talked about, death is honestly just a part of life.
Yep.
Whether they learn about it at 7 or 17, it's not going to change that initial experience. Or you think, oh, because they're 17, they're a little older, they're a little bit more mature. But if it's your first time experiencing death, seeing a dead body, going to a funeral, you're going to have all the same emotions that a younger child would have. And it's like, I told him, I said, it'd been different if this was just long lost Uncle Joe that don't nobody, but this is his grandmother. He had a relationship with her. He loved her. He knew her. She was just over a couple of weeks before she had the heart attack when we did our gift exchange, because my mom had been in, like, so it's like,
Yeah.
no, like I think he needs to go. And so that was the other thing. That's what brought up my mom's dad passing. She's like, how was your brother, how are you in LA? And I was like, well, LA was 8. So that's my little brother. And so I'm like, girl, he's going. Like, I hate that he has to go. I hate that he has to experience it. I hate that he has to see this, but this won't be the first. Like, this is the first, but it won't be the last, is what
Yep.
you're just gonna have. And we did. You don't have to go up. I told him, you don't have to go view her body. You don't, if you don't want to see her, you don't want to go look. He
Yeah.
didn't post anything like that. You don't have to touch her. You don't have to do anything. But respectfully, you have to be there. And that's gonna be something you'll be able to look back on. And that was my first funeral. My grandmother was the one who passed. And it was a beautiful celebration of life. It was a beautiful homegoing. So yeah. It's
Yeah.
tough. It's hard. Nobody gives you a parenting manuscript, but
Baby, but you are doing a phenomenal
you
job.
make
You
a
are
good
doing a
decision for
phenomenal
your
job.
child.
You are doing one thing that a lot of parents lack: communicating. And even if it's not the right or feel good communication, it involves hard communication, but it's teaching them. I'm telling you, it is so admiring. It's like, wow, so many parents and whomever is listening, I hope that it inspires them to talk to their kids even during the tough times, because parents always want to protect and don't tell them and shy away. No, because it hurts more. My sister, my baby sister Dee, she
Mhm.
used to be like, why don't y'all tell me these things? Or she would get so upset, why don't y'all ever tell me stuff? Because we're thinking, we don't want to tell her. We don't want to. But no, even if it's hard conversation, you have to do it.
You do. And you just break it down for their level. That's what
Yeah.
I would tell anybody who's out there. I mean, he's asking you different questions. You don't know what they're going to ask. You don't know. Their little minds are just as curious Georgia. That's probably why Key and Carter get along so well, because they both just curious minds. Just Carter will ask you, like, he always has to figure everything out. And I mean, to the end of it. Like, he is
Wow.
going to ask you every single question to get down to the very detail, the granular detail of what he wants to know. And so you just have to be able to be quick, but also be thoughtful and mindful of their age. I'm not about to go into, 50 million things about, he's like, where's her body gonna go and all this. I don't have to, you don't have to, explain, they're gonna dig it up 6 feet. You don't have to go through all
Yeah.
of it. Her body goes, I said her body goes into the ground, but her spirit, her soul, she's already gone. She's already up in heaven. So I was like, what you see at the funeral, I was like, that's just the body that grandma was born into, but grandma's gone. And it was so wild that the eulogy he basically said, like, his messaging was, she's gone, like, she's gone from here, but she ain't gone. She's up there. And so it was like, I think you say the right things. God will tell you what to say.
Okay.
And then he works everything else out. Because I'm telling you, the message brought the whole honey Carter already. He was like, the man, I think he called him the man or the preacher man. He was like, he said that she's not, like, she's not here anymore, but she's alive up in heaven. He was like, that's what you told me, my period. Everything gotta look. You just gotta talk to them at their level. He don't know. So
I think there has to be I don't say like making it normal, but just like not being afraid to talk about death and just like the immortal world, and just like, I really feel like there's something we obviously don't see, but they can see us.
They
They
see us.
can see us, and I love the fact that he asks so many questions because the worst thing you could do is it's like when we have a job interview. You know how I feel. When we get older, we get diminished more. People could cut you off, and it makes you not want to ask.
Mhm.
And with his curiosity and you like giving him the insight, he's curious and going to keep asking, asking, and just learning more and more. And it's like that's the worst thing to do. It's like, all right, stop talking. I'm done. Or
I'm
I
done.
don't know. Don't ask me no more questions.
And you, as much as you want to do that, I'm not gonna say anything like I don't want to. There are a lot of times where I'll be like, just hush. Like that's what I want to do. But
Yeah.
that's not gonna serve him. That's not
Yeah.
gonna serve him, and I don't want him to learn the wrong thing from somebody else or learn a way that we're not intending for you to learn from somebody else. I want you to learn what you need to learn from us first. And so I'm glad that he's one able to open up and ask and talk. And like we just talked yesterday. I was like, how are you doing? Are
Mhm.
you still doing okay with grandma passing away? Does it make you sad? Do you think about it at all? And he's like, I think about it sometimes, but he said it just kind of comes and it kind of goes away. It doesn't like sit there long enough to make me sad.
Mm.
And so it's like you just have to let them, talk. And
Yeah.
you have to be open to talking to them. And I think it's harder. We feel like it's going to be harder for us. That's really what it is as a parent. Like when you become a parent, I think you realize because I didn't want to have the conversation about, well, you got to sit him down and tell him his grandmother's going to pass. Like nobody wants to have that conversation because you just think about he's going to ask questions. That's going to be hard. Matt is going through it. He doesn't want to necessarily get emotional. So there's like all of these factors, but at the end of the day, it's going to happen whether you want it to happen or not. And so it's like just arm them with as much information you can give them so he doesn't feel like a fish out of water going through the process. Like, and of course, when the day happened, you're not going to think of everything and you can't be like, I can't list out this is exactly what's going to happen at the funeral. But it's like,
Right.
if you have
Right.
any questions, and I did let him know you're going to see grandma's body, but that's not grandma anymore. Like you say these types of things just so they can kind of get what you're saying, get it enough for his little 7-year-old self. And I'm sure he'll have more questions as more things. I mean, he's smart. She had an older brother or has an older brother. And he goes, and so, after everything, the next night, I think it was, he was like, he was like, I'm kind of worried because he's like, I know Uncle Larry's older than grandma was. And he was like, so that means he's going to pass away too. Like just thinking about it. So they're smart. That's what I'm saying. They're not intelligent. Your
Yeah.
kids pay attention. They have a whole lot more stuff that they're seeing than we were able to see at our
I was
age.
about to say, yeah, he's probably picked on to so many things in his brain, so many pictures that he has in his head that, to this day, like our parents may not know things that we remembered back then, and they'll be like, "How the hell? I don't even." But he picked up a lot.
Core memory. You
Wow,
remember stuff. So yeah.
wow, wow, wow.
And
And
talk
the
to your
parents,
kids.
huh?
Talk to your kids. That's all I was saying.
Please do.
That's a cup of inspo. Talk, like really
Yes.
talk to your kids and let them talk back. Like open your ears and listen to them and kind of get on their level a little bit. Like it's important. It really is.
Mm, mm. I'm sure. I mean, this was a good Talk Yo Shit Tuesday.
Period.
Great release. I definitely needed it.
Great catch up too, just on
Yes,
everything we
sis.
both have had going on.
Yes, we are.
Y'all look, y'all don't know. I think y'all do know, but we don't live in the same city. We don't live in the
Mm-mm.
same state. And so, look, this is also how Key and I like come together too. And so we haven't had this, come together. I'll have a cut moment in a while. So it
Mhm.
really was a catch up for both of us.
Yeah, yeah, and I manifest and pray. We have a better month this
A
month.
better year. Look,
We had a better year.
yeah, take us off the look. We've had enough. Remove our names from the strongest warriors.
Okay, because I don't want the Lord, because I'm not. I'm really not. I'm
I know.
really not. Is there any specific tea that you've been hearing out in these streets?
I don't have any tea per
Okay.
se, but Beyonce going country has been the talk of the country. And so I did want to ask and get your thoughts and our community's thoughts. How are you loving it? Are you loving it? Are you feeling country Beyonce? Are you like, girl, what the hell is this?
Texas.
No,
I know you know word by word.
hearts down, 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 down.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a huge Beyonce fan, but it has to still grow on me.
I get it.
Not immediate for me. It wasn't like an immediate, oh my God. Like, no, it wasn't immediate for me. To me, it still has like an R&B twang to it, which I get. That's her premise, but it ain't doing much for me right now. Yeah, I've been watching the TikTok videos and I'm like, maybe I need to hear another song. Maybe when the album drops, I can really like tap into it. But for me, it's nothing like exciting right at the moment.
Have you listened to 16 Carriages?
16 Carriages is deep. I love that boldness to it, but it still ain't doing much. Yeah, I don't know. I think when I think of country music, like take the R&B twang out of it. Maybe I'm being too critical. I want to hear maybe she needs a duet with someone, but I feel like it's trying too hard. And I might get, I don't know, buzz me out, beehive, don't come for me, but it takes time. Not everybody's going to automatically love it. It's a different sound, but if you're comparing it to country, like Hey Michelle, my God, seamlessly, like she's giving country. I think she's going to get to that perfection of that craft with, of course, with artists, with maybe vocal coaches and find that sound. I don't think it's 100% country for me yet.
Do you think it will help the Black folk that are in country, or do you think it'll hurt?
I think it will help them.
I do too.
I think it'll be an amazing ride.
And then I said, I feel like, what if that's, you never know. She could just be in, this is what the hell I want to do. But what if she is intentionally like, I can blow this shit up and put all the Black, like everybody in Black can be on in country.
But that my girlfriend made a good point. I haven't came across like any articles about it, but that's her intent. Like she's hitting every genre. And when you think about Black people in country music, that was originally our music, and then they say white people took it. So it's like
They did
for what's ours, And I'm like, I am not mad at it, but I want to ask you, do you think that that's an overkill because she's Beyonce? We're going to like everything she does?
I don't think that. No. I'm a Beyonce stan. I'm also from Kentucky. And so for me, it's country enough in the sense of I like the fact that it has a little Beyonce-esque, R&B-esque still in there. I love traditional country. If you've ever heard me just sing songs, this is my mom and my husband, they're like telling me that I should have been someone who takes a regular song and puts a country twang on it to sing it my entire life. Because I just love to ding dicks. That is just a me song. Like
perfect.
But I like it. But what has cracked me up? Because you saying like her text, the little twangs and all these different things, and her being like, it's just too much. Like you're trying too hard. Matt was like, I'm with her. I can listen to the song. He was like, but she had to go and say dive bar. And he was like, it's for him. The dive bar just took him out of the element. He was just like, that's where she lost. I said, just on the dive bar? He can't get with it.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like, and I'm not saying she's doing this at all, but it makes me think of like cultural appropriation. It's like you're trying to connect to the countryside. So you're doing things that a country person may enjoy.
But it's not coming out.
No, it's not natural. It's
not
natural.
I feel like that more about Texas Hold'em than I do
16.
16.
I can see it more with 16. I agree. I'm like, that song is beautiful. It is deep, but we need another song.
And I feel like I like Texas Hold'em more so because I could literally see people exactly what everybody did. Let me come up with a line dance and do a line. It very much gives we're gonna make up a line dance, and this is the song you do the line dance to.
But
But
it's like gimmicky. This ain't ding, 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 ding. It's like I think that like it's gimmicky.
I think what this is one thing I will say, and I don't think it's because look, if you're a country buff, you'll probably come for me. But what I will say is a lot of country music is gimmicky. You didn't start having like these. I'm trying to think of some of the what's her name? I'm not gonna be able to think of her name because now it's on the spot. Carrie Underwood. You didn't like there were always these people out there, so I'm not gonna pretend like that wasn't ever a thing. But white people coming into country music, a lot of that was gimmicky. That's where a lot of the line dances come from. They gimmicky ass songs. So I feel like with that song in particular, it falls in that realm of being that type of song for you to be all
With the line dancing.
yeah, but I will agree when she said I said the dive bar.
You know she didn't write that.
She did not write that. Girl, we're going headed to the dive bar. We always thought was nice.
But I think I don't know too many Black country singers, and that'll be a great way to definitely put them even more on the map.
One person I can tell you about, and you may have already known about her, Tanner Adele, I think is her name. She's got a song. Look her up on Instagram, and she's kind of what's so funny is she, well, before bleach blonde Beyonce, bleach blonde hair, she kind of reminds you of a Beyonce. She's got a song called Buckle Bunny.
Buckle Bunny.
I say it country because it's Buckle Bunny. It's the name of the song, but definitely check her out. But I will say, I feel like now you're seeing people, you see like sites like They Have Range, and like the people who showcase singing and talent, they're spotlighting Black country artists now. Like you're seeing, so it's like, I think it's done what she probably went. I don't think she went into this like, I'm trying to be the next.
Yeah.
I think she went into this like, I'm trying to shine a spotlight on all the Black country artists that are already out there and get them out there. Like, it ain't about just Beyonce. Now, will it translate? We don't know because she's so big.
That's knowing your influence, though. That is knowing your influence in the room. Like, I could do this. Oh, I want to try this. Let me try it.
I'm going to try it.
It's that powerful.
I hope the album is good, though, because look, we might have to go to another concert. We have to slide in.
Purr. And I am coming there this summer. Purr. Okay.
Let it do.
Go out there.
That's the only tea I had, though. Are you watching anything on TV?
There haven't been any good Tubi movies. I did tap into Mia Culpa.
I have not watched that yet. Yeah. You can talk about that if you do want to, because that is something I do plan to watch. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews.
I'm gonna need people to not. I'm not saying this in a mean way, Tyler Perry. I think this is like, damn, who is Key coming for? It's Tyler Perry. You have to expect good, maybe not the best form of acting or plot scheme, but Tyler Perry has his touch on things. Do I feel like it's the best of the best movies? Hell no. Nah. Is it a decent movie? Yes. Like
it's worth me watching it.
I think so. I think it's worth anyone watching it because it throws you off a little bit towards the end because they call it an erotic thriller. Okay. And erotic is erotic, baby. Erotic is erotic. Okay.
Sex scenes was sex scene and
baby, I had to watch that. Rewind that like an old auntie. Hold on, what is it right now?
Close up on the TV. Damn, G.
Girl, now my mother would be like, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Because you see some booty crack and all that. But I think it was a great debut for Kelly Rowland. Look, we talk about Destiny's Child. Come on for the Destiny's Child, girl. Like, I think it was a great debut for her. I think it was just like, again, it was just a good look. Overall, good look.
And she's looked good on the like, I know we were all up in arms about Fantasia, which looked phenomenal as well on her, the Color Purple press one. But Kelly Rowland, honey,
the look
she's had a moment of silence for Kelly Rowland.
Y'all give it up for Colin Carter. Carter, okay?
She has always been a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I think now, y'all, everybody else is like, oh, look, we been new. Kelly Rowland been the brown skin girls. She been our little idol because we just I always thought she was beautiful, always. And
I
it just,
admire her. Oof.
yeah, she's amazing. She is amazing. She just seems like a great mom. Like she really seems like somebody that would be fun to be around.
Yeah.
And I would love to meet Beyonce. Beyonce doesn't give you the vibe like we could be homies. Like because she just seems so introverted.
Yeah.
Which totally. Kelly, on the other hand, I
That's
feel
her.
like you be drinking, popping it, doing all kind of shit with like
That's
she just
her.
seems like a ball of fun, is what I'll say. She's
Yeah.
gorgeous, stunning, her style, stunning. And I had read somewhere where they're like, Kelly's always in the conversation for style, and Beyonce isn't. Beyonce don't have nothing. Her style ain't got nothing on Kelly Rowland's style. I'm sorry.
Wait. What?
They be trying to come. They're like, we don't ever hear about Beyonce in the conversation of, her being a style icon. You hear Tracy Ellis Ross, you hear Kelly Rowland, you hear like Beyonce's not in that conversation. When I think about style icons, though, Beyonce does not. I love her, but
Beyonce.
she doesn't
Yeah.
pop in my mind as someone.
Mm.
She has her own style, but I don't think she sets the tone for what. Now she set the tone for Renaissance with silver and metallics and all
She
of this,
did that. She
but
did that.
I wouldn't say that it was like that was like a color scheme and this and that. It wasn't like this. I want to wear exactly what Beyonce, even when she was on stage, there were a lot of her looks that I was like, I want that outfit right there.
I
There was
wonder how do you explain that? It's like Beyonce's a star. Like she's a star, but like when you see Kelly Rowland post like that blazer ensemble dress she had on, like you feel that shit. You're like, bitch. Like there is
it's
just
aura.
something. Beyonce's not boring. I don't want to say that, but it's just something aura. Like it's the
An
aura.
aura.
Like
It's the whole thing. It's the package. She
yeah,
knows when to wear her hair in that wet look. She knows when to wear it in a bob. It's like she has it all together.
yeah.
And to round out the Destiny's Child conversation, have you seen Michelle's new commercial?
Oh my God. Have
I
I
thought that was hilarious.
I was like, Michelle. I love that she could freaking not take it too seriously and just joke.
I thought it was great. And
Yeah.
look, I might get a beehive hit on this one. I said, her little 2 seconds of acting, she killed it. I mean, I thought about Beyonce from the Lion King movie. I said, how do you have a movie where you're not even seen? And I can feel like when she was playing, who was she? Nala?
Yeah.
It wasn't coming across. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in that 2 little seconds of this commercial, I'm part of the whole thing. I said, well, Michelle might have on acting shit. I don't know. Shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that was a good one.
I loved it. That's it. That's all I got.
I love it. Tap into Mia Cooper. Let me know what you think.
I will. I'll try to watch that before our next episode, so that way we can really dive into it and talk about it. Because we'll have a topic next week, y'all. It's Women's History Month. We're
Yes.
planning for some Women's History Month topics, but we just had to get y'all caught up. We're just happy to be back.
Mhm.
Life is life, but we're still here, and we hope that you are too.
We're back. And on that good note, good people, Reed, tell them where they can find us.
You can find us at Spotify Podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and I think Google Play Podcasts. That's all the places you can find us at I'll Have a Cup. You can also buy us a coffee over at buymeacoffee.com. // I'll Have a Cup podcast. Look, we've been going through it. Kiara lost Victoria in a car accident. I've lost a family member. I'm not saying that that's why you should buy us a coffee, but buy us a coffee because we're here. We're showing up. We're back, and we'll be here.
Yes.
Oh.
We'll see y'all next week. Good vibrations to you all. Have a great week, and we'll see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.